is a really good friend of mine, Shane Gibson, and he's made a really special effort to be here. We had to actually change the date this month, a special time only just to accommodate Shane because he's of that caliber. So Shane is, well, I know Shane from a long time back. He has a bunch of companies. I'll let you talk more about that. But most recently, he's known for writing actually a couple of books that you might be familiar with. One is Social, he co-wrote with another friend of ours, Steve Jagger. And now he's written social media, Guerrilla social media marketing with J. Conrad Levinston, who is he's been around forever. He, I think, coined the phrase guerrilla marketing back in the 70s. I will let you talk to him because you do a much better job of that. So everyone, please welcome Shane Gibson.
So we've got 30 brief moments to really dive into guerrilla social media marketing. And it's I'll tell you a little bit about how I met Jay Levinson and how I'm connected with him, and also just sort of my background in social media. I didn't start off kind of behind a computer blogging and then go, or even just a speaker, and go, hey, this seems like a popular topic, maybe I should put this on my docket along with the other 5 topics and get out there and kind of market myself. I kind of grew into it or fell into it. My background is sales performance. So I work with major automotive manufacturers, insurance companies, high-tech companies, not-for-profits here in Canada, the US, South America, South Africa, and spent a lot of my time working with sales organizations. And one of the things I found is that I became progressively more frustrated with the fact that sales is broken. At least sales and marketing is broken the way we've been teaching it and pitching it for the last couple decades at least. And I started off launching Knowledge Brokers, which is a sales training company, in 2001 here in Canada. It's been around since 1997 globally, but I launched the Canadian division in 2001. And I had probably less than the money out of my pocket tonight to launch that business. I just started a hung on a shingle, and that was it. And so I couldn't use cash, and I couldn't use human hours. It was just me. If I was going to enter the market, I had to kind of get guerrilla about it. And so, one of the things I did right away, one of the biggest guerrilla tools I could find, is the fact that with a big company, if I had a decent website design and good search engine optimization, I could compete toe-to-toe with the big guys. And that's really where I started web marketing, was in that particular position. I started blogging in 2002 and podcasting in 2004. And the first person to listen to my blog or read my blog or listen to my podcast was probably my mom. That was the only person on the internet that knew that it existed. So it wasn't like this sort of raging group of people going, "Oh, thank God he's blogging about sales and finally a podcast on selling." Actually, there was like 1 download. It was it was like watching paint dry. That's how exciting my results were. But over a period of time, things changed, and more customers found me that way, to the point where clients like Ford Motor Company, ECL Systems, I think about the U.S. Department of Commerce, Seminarium, which is a biggest seminar company in South America. All of those came as a result of blogging and Twitter and LinkedIn and YouTube, and really collaboration of all of them. So I started to pay attention when my revenues from the web far exceeded my networking, my cold calling, and everything else combined, and I realized that maybe there's something here. So the first book I wrote was Sociable, around social media, with Steve Jagger. We put that together, and around the same period of time, J. Conrad Levinson, 5 years ago, I cold called him. So would you endorse my first book? And it was called Closing Bigger, on closing large deals. And Jay said, absolutely. And I cured him up the manuscript, and back in the day, we stayed connected over, for a half a decade, really, just via LinkedIn and the odd email, and that was it. And then we ended up speaking together in Santiago, Chile, in April of 2009. And after a couple of days of wine tours, there's a lesson in this. Jay's wife actually said to me, why don't you and Jay write a book together? And Jay said to me, Shane, I'd love to write a book with you. Would you write a book with me? I said, let me think about this. We've sold 20 million books to date. Yes. It didn't take very long. I didn't want to seem too excited, but yeah, it was absolutely. And Jay and I sat down. Here was the goal. Here was the goal of guerrilla marketing. I'll define it in a minute. But our goal was to introduce the concept of social media marketing to really the 8 million plus people who bought 20 million books on guerrilla marketing today. We want to introduce them to social media as the newest sort of supplement of guerrilla marketing weapons. But I also, for me, I wanted to introduce guerrilla marketing to a whole new generation. So a lot of people in the Generation X, Generation Y generation really don't have that exposure to guerrilla marketing that previous generations did. And so we got together and collaborated and put it together. So that's kind of where the concept came from. So let's talk about what guerrilla marketing is. By the way, just quickly, who here in this room has read a guerrilla marketing book? Okay, so a few of us. Yeah? So guerrilla marketing is really about achieving conventional goals through unconventional means. This is important. It's about achieving conventional goals through unconventional means. So all of us in business have the same sort of conventional goals. We want to do what?
Make money.
Make money. More importantly, profits. And that's the thing, is that guerrillas don't measure success by revenues, clicks, Facebook friends, little happy smiley emoticons coming through text messages. They actually measure success by profits. And that's the key factors. What's going to help me become profitable, not just in social media, but in all my marketing and sales activities. So, really, instead of investing big dollars and lots of people hours, which is what big companies have, they've got lots of dollars, and they've got lots of people hours to throw at something until it works. But guerrillas, on the other hand, don't invest that. Yeah, we invest a little bit of money, and we do invest time, but more importantly, guerrillas invest imagination, innovation, knowledge, and this last one is really a social media add-on and community. Those are the four big weapons that a guerrilla marketer uses. So we can't outspend the big guys. We can't out-yell them with more billboards and more advertising, or even out-hire them with more staff. But we can beat them by changing the game, and that is by engaging and driving deeper relationships and having more solid and deeper communities and tribes than the big guys care to do or know how to do. And that's the core tenet of guerrilla social media marketing, is going deeper and further than our bigger competitors, or our competitors in general, are willing to do. So, you get a little fuzzy here, but a big thing that guerrillas understand is that free is not just a nice to have, free can be a weapon. And in our book we go over 150 plus guerrilla social media marketing weapons, and many of them are free. In fact, I did my best inventing anything that was paid in the book. Not because I'm cheap, but because I truly believe that little creativity and innovation, sometimes you can plug 2 or 3 tools together, and it's just as good as a paid one you can find online. Here's an example of a real estate company, Real Estate 3 out of Central Virginia. They teamed up with Better Homes and Gardens. Now, people here are familiar with 1% Realty? Okay, so some realtors in the room are groaning. But the reality is, Real Estate 3 is very much kind of equivalent of a 1% Realty. So what they said is, how do we beat the bigger guys? Obviously, we're earning less commission. We want to spend less on marketing. How do we beat them? So how do we use free as a weapon? Not even, it wasn't free for them to develop this weapon, but it was free for them to give it away to anybody who wanted it. So here's what they did. This tool is quite interesting. You can download it on your iPhone for free, and you can walk down the street, and you can take a shot, you can say, is this 19876 84th Avenue? So you take a picture and it'll ask you that. You'll say, yes it is. And then it'll tell you what the house sold for last. It'll tell you the inventory of the houses in the neighborhood. It'll tell you the crime rates in the area. It'll tell you the schools. It'll tell you the nearby restaurants. It'll tell you the workplace demographic breakdown, employment rates, the whole 9 yards. And so I actually showed these to a group of realtors here in Vancouver thinking they'd be excited, and they all gave me dirty looks. And I said, first I took your MLS book, right? Used to hold that, right? And now you can't know it's for sale. And now they give away all this information, this expertise for free. But that's an example of a guerrilla weapon. Is they actually didn't take anything that did exist on the internet already. They just created a nice, pretty little app, probably programmed in India, elance.com or something like that. And they aggregated content that was readily available for free, mashed it up, and gave it away to their customers. And really put more information in the hands of their customers. So by doing this, it's a game changer. And so that's a good example of a guerrilla application, is looking at the big guys and going, how can I take what's out there, bundle it together, add some value through what?